somewhere in the universe, right now. In the exact second you started watching this video, thousands of stars just came into existence, and in that same second, dozens of stars, somewhere else, violently died. Not once in a while, not once a year, every single second without pause, without rest, since the universe began. Birth and death, happening on a scale so massive your brain isn't built to process it. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how many stars are born and how many die every second, and why that number is both terrifying and beautiful at the same time. Let's go. Part 1. The birth of a star. Let's start with birth. Deep inside massive clouds of gas and dust called nebulae, gravity slowly pulls matter together. As that matter compresses, pressure and temperature rise until, at a critical point, nuclear fusion ignites at the core. A star is born. Astronomers estimate that in our galaxy alone, the Milky Way, roughly 7 new stars form every single year. That number sounds small, until you remember there are hundreds of billions of galaxies in the observable universe. When you scale that formation rate across all of them, scientists estimate somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 new stars are born every single second across the observable universe. Some calculations based on total galaxy counts and star formation rates push that number even higher, with certain estimates suggesting close to 4,800 stars per second. Let that settle in. In the time it took you to read this sentence, thousands of stars just ignited for the very first time. Part 2. Where all this happens, but here's what makes it even more incredible. This isn't happening evenly across the universe. Most galaxies, including our own Milky Way, are relatively quiet when it comes to star formation. Astronomers call these quiescent galaxies, steady, slow, unhurried. But then, there are starburst galaxies, cosmic factories producing stars at a rate 100 to 1,000 times faster than our galaxy, often triggered by 2 galaxies colliding and compressing their gas clouds together violently. Picture 2 massive spiral galaxies smashing into each other over millions of years. The result isn't destruction, it's often creation. Colossal bursts of star formation, entire generations of new stars ignited by cosmic collision. Meanwhile, in massive stellar nurseries like the Orion Nebula, visible even to backyard telescopes here on Earth, hundreds of new stars are forming in a single stellar nursery at once. A visible reminder that the universe is quite literally giving birth right above our heads every single night. Part 3. The death of a star. Now let's talk about the other side of this cosmic cycle, death. Not every star dies the same way. Smaller stars, like our own sun, eventually swell into red giants, shed their outer layers gently, and leave behind a glowing shell of gas called a planetary nebula, with a dense core called a white dwarf left behind. It's a slow, almost peaceful ending. But massive stars, once far larger than our sun, die in spectacular fashion. When they run out of fuel, their core collapses in an instant, triggering one of the most violent explosions in the universe, a supernova. For a brief moment, a single dying star can outshine its entire galaxy. So how often does this happen? Astronomers estimate that across the observable universe, supernovae occur somewhere between once every 10 seconds and roughly 30 times every single second, depending on which model and galaxy sample you use. Some broader estimates push the number even higher, up to over 100 per second when accounting for the full range of galaxies across cosmic history. To put that simply, while thousands of stars are being born every second, somewhere else in that exact same second, a star is violently ending its life in an explosion powerful enough to forge gold, iron, and nearly every heavy element that makes up our entire planet. Part 4. Why this matters more than you think. Here's the part that changes how you see the night sky forever. Every supernova doesn't just mark an ending, it's also a beginning. These explosions scatter heavy elements across space, seeding the next generation of stars, planets, and eventually, life itself. Every atom of calcium in your bones, every atom of iron in your blood, every atom of gold in a wedding ring. All of it was forged inside a star that died in a supernova, sometimes billions of years before our solar system even existed. In other words, you are quite literally made of the remains of stars that died so violently they lit up entire galaxies. And because light takes time to travel, many of the stars you see twinkling in the night sky right now might not even exist anymore. Some of that light left its source thousands, even millions of years ago. You could be looking at the ghost of a star that already died, its final light only now reaching your eyes. Part 5. The Cosmic Balance. So which wins birth or death? Interestingly, astronomers believe that within individual galaxies like our own Milky Way, more stars are actually dying than being born. Right now, a slow, gradual decline in star formation as available gas and dust get used up over billions of years. But across the wider universe, especially in younger gas-rich galaxies still forming, the picture becomes far less certain and estimates vary widely. What we do know for certain is this: the universe has been running this cycle of birth and death for over 13 billion years, and it will likely continue for trillions more, long after our own sun eventually fades away. So here's the truth that's almost impossible to fully comprehend. In the time it took you to watch this video, thousands of new stars ignited somewhere in the cosmos. And in that same stretch of time, dozens more stars violently ended their lives, scattering the very elements that would one day become planets, oceans, and even you. We spend our entire lives looking up at a night sky that feels still, quiet, unchanging, but it isn't. It's one of the most violent, active, relentless places in all of existence, happening every single second, whether we're watching or not. Let me know in the comments, does knowing this change the way you'll look at the stars tonight? And maybe that's the part worth sitting with the longest. Long after you finish this video, long after tonight, long after your entire lifetime, this exact cycle will keep repeating. Stars will keep igniting, stars will keep dying. Somewhere right now, a star is forming from the same kind of dust that eventually became you. And somewhere else, a star is ending its life the exact same way, the one that made your bones, your blood, and your breath once did. You're not just watching the universe from a distance. You're part of its story, a small, living piece of a cycle that's been playing out since the very beginning of everything. Let me know in the comments, does knowing this change the way you'll look at the stars tonight?